doing no-budget filmmaking because that's how all good filmmakers start. I love
Y-
that. I think we get
Yeah.
lost sometimes too, forgetting that budget needs to include your post-production and marketing and film festivals. I mean, the film festivals and the marketing is where it gets so expensive. And then we think, oh, we need to have all these voices or accents or character works, but like you don't need any of that. Chris Pratt didn't do that for his last three animated movies. He was the same voice, you know? So you're lovely. You need to be a good actor. I need to believe that this is real before you start adding those filters and adding on accents, characters, voices, stuff like that. And
Mm.
I came home and then I found radio and I was like, oh, this is like acting, but no one can see you. And so I that's how I got into radio. And I had a career there for 17 years. Yeah, did that up until 2020. There are scripts. Yeah, in radio there's a lot of scripts. They tell you a lot of times like what to say and when they want you to say it and how many times, you know?
Oh,
But yeah, I sat through 5 days of shows and there were like two female comedians that came through and I was really mad. And I thought, oh, okay, well, I guess I'm gonna have to do this now. Which is why I didn't tell anybody. I just showed up and like tried it and probably said a bunch of stuff that was mean about my ex-husband. And I got some laughs and I was like, this is awesome. Thank you. I think you know what? That's it. I'm going to bed. That was the best thing I've heard all day. I don't need any more day. Yeah. Like we don't have to we don't have to be liked by everyone. Gosh, can you imagine? That's a lot of pressure. I
yeah.
feel for Taylor Swift sometimes because it's like she's almost too big now. Well, just saying that the power of I think we forget in this power of social media and like justice warriors on the keyboard where it's like you can say nothing. There is so much power in your silence. I think we forget that. Say less.
Yeah.
Say less. Unless
Yeah.
you're really adding to the conversation, just say less. Yeah, what an incredible experience that was to live in LA. But they say like you go to LA to fight your demons and you can only leave when you've won. So I left in 2021 and I'm now in Austin, Texas, where there's a lot of comedy. Well, a lot of people that get on stage and just say the most vile things, hoping that it'll make people laugh when it's just gross. It's just grotesque stuff. But we've certainly there's a certain bro culture of comedy here. It imposter syndrome and performance anxiety means that you care a lot. And the way to overcome that, when people that are doing what you want to be doing are telling you, good job, this is awesome, that's when you know you've got something special. Yes. Um, but you learn very quickly that the industry is feast and famine. Right now, it is very feast. No, so, no, no, no.
Okay. That's four solid no's. Okay. Hey everyone, this is Abhi from No Budget Filmmaking Podcast, and here with me is Maggie. Hi, Maggie.
Hi, Avi. I love that you're doing no budget filmmaking because that's how all good filmmakers start. I love
Y-
that.
Yes, that's the main motive of this podcast is to help people who are trying to break into industry or who are really, really new,
Yeah.
uh, to know what's ahead and what to do.
Yeah. Yeah. I think a lot of times people get so caught up in talking about, I love this and we'll talk more for a second, but they're like, oh, I want to work for these big studios and direct and produce and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, that's great, but you're not going to get those big budget projects until you can learn how to do it with next to nothing. And honestly, I think filmmaking is so much more fun when you have a smaller box to play inside of.
Yeah, it stretches your creative muscles, don't you think? Like,
Yeah.
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 A
Yeah.
lot, if you hear a lot of stories, even for the big budget ones, you hear like, okay, that happened because we didn't have the budget for it.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And I think we get lost sometimes too, forgetting that budget needs to include your post-production and marketing and film festivals. I mean, the film festivals and the marketing is where it gets so expensive. Yeah, hi, I'm Maggie. I'm so excited to meet you and be here. I am a comedian, a parody songwriter, a filmmaker, and an actor, voice actor.
Okay.
So
How did
that's what I
you,
do.
okay, so how did you get into this uh, entertainment industry?
Um, I've been acting since I was in kindergarten, doing plays and shows, and wound up taking a side quest into radio for a long time, but always doing stand-up comedy on the side. And then I would say 4 or 5 years before the pandemic, just really started writing short films. And I was just, when you want to be an actor, you start learning how to do all the other things so that you can just be an actor, which includes writing, which includes producing, directing, editing your own films. So,
Yeah, especially when you don't have a big budget.
yeah, 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 exactly.
Okay, so that started. How did voice acting come into play?
Yeah, well, because I was working in radio, I had a long career in radio, which was really great on the air in the mornings, in the evening, just doing that. And as I started picking up steam and momentum doing stand-up comedy, I was like, I need a way that I can travel and tour without having to punch the clock somewhere or ask somebody for time off. And the only skills I could think of to work from my laptop was recording my voice and editing it. And I was like, that's voice acting, which is what I do just on a camera. So yeah, just started figuring out the voice acting thing and suddenly it was paying all the bills. And now here we are.
Oh, nice. Where do you usually your voice acting business? I mean, what do you do for voice acting exactly?
Yeah. Well, Maggie Mayfield is a brand, and so I market that to clients to find work. And through my list of clients now, I'm working. I'm also coaching other actors that don't know anything about voice acting that have always wanted to do it, helping them set up really good audition techniques, marketing, building a demo, helping them find an agent, just everything that you would need to start doing this.
Okay, so you do voiceover for commercials
Yeah,
and
yeah, kind of everything. A lot of commercials, a lot of e-learning projects, audiobooks, a lot of romance novels. I just did my first video game, and so we're promoting that right now. And some dubbing, but just wherever the casting director is like, I like her voice. So
okay, that makes sense. Okay,
yeah,
okay. Out of curiosity, do you play kids too? Because most of the time, women play kids than guys.
women do, yeah, especially little boys, especially
Yes,
little boys.
for some
Yeah.
reason. I didn't know about that until I knew about Nancy Cartwright, uh,
Yeah.
voice of
Yeah.
I'm forgetting his name. Uh,
Bart Simpson. Yeah.
Bart Simpson. Yes,
Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't
Yeah, I
know.
met her. She's lovely. She's a little pistol. She's very short.
Yes.
Um and just really a fun human. She's a lot of
Yeah.
fun.
I met her
Yeah.
multiple times. I was working
Yeah.
in Soraya and she was one of the trustees there, so that was so
Yeah.
good.
So
Okay,
you know,
yeah, I know her. And so it's okay, so voice acting is acting. There's no difference in between the two, but still when you coach someone, would you give them? Which pointers do you give them?
when I'm coaching someone,
Yeah.
well, everyone's different. Everyone's kind of starting with different techniques, but what we really focus on is worrying about how it feels and not so much about how it sounds. Right. So we get concerned. We're like, oh my God, the microphone isn't set up right and I can't do this. And your microphone is fine.
Hmm.
Your microphone is fine. And then we think, oh, we need to have all these voices or accents or character works. But like, you don't need any of that. Chris Pratt didn't do that for his last three animated movies. He was the same voice, you know? So You're lovely. You need to be a good actor. I need to believe that this is real before you start adding those filters and adding on accents, characters, voices, stuff like that.
Hmm. Someone would be like, okay, I think my voice is too high or my voice is too low for acting, voice acting. I don't know. Is that a thing?
No, 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 no.
Okay, that's four solid no's. Okay,
Yeah.
but so there's a market for every voice. It can be husky, it can be deep, it can be anything in
Yeah.
between. Okay, that's great.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
you said you started as kindergarten as an actor, right? As
hmm
plays. But when did you start taking it seriously?
Um, I mean, all through high school. I mean, that was the focus. That's where I hung out, was in the drama rooms, working on all the plays,
Yeah.
auditioning as much as I could for everything. And then I went to school right after high school in New York to study musical theater. So I was pretty young doing it.
Okay. And what changed when you started taking it really, really seriously in college?
What changed? I think just freedom, you know? It's like your parents, they don't want you to, they don't want, no parent wants their kid to be an actor. It's hard. It's a really hard road because there's no guarantee. Not that anything in life has a guarantee, but it's just notoriously difficult. And as you continue to see things like stories about Nickelodeon and then how these young stars were being treated in the 90s and early 2000s, it's like, oh yeah, that is a yucky reality. So,
Yeah, so
but yeah, I think just the freedom. Yeah, the freedom of not having your parents judge you, you know?
okay. So you did had a little bit of pushback or judgment from your parents?
I mean, no, not really, but I don't think either of them would have lined up to this is the school that you need to go to. No, I don't think that I took the loans out, you know?
Hmm.
It's not
Oh,
like they weren't supportive. I just don't think it would have their first choice.
oh, they wanted you to be a doctor?
I don't know. I have no idea.
Okay. Okay, that's yeah, that's a different joke. Okay. That's an inside joke from I
I was
played
like,
with my
is that what your parents wanted you to be?
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So when you started working there in New York, and did you started booking roles right away, or is it took some time, obviously, and what was your journey throughout?
Well, I mean, I'm a little bit older than you. So when I went to New York, I went to study and then 9/11 happened. And so
Oh,
I didn't stay very long. Yeah, I didn't stay very long. And I came home and then I found radio and I was like, oh, this is like acting, but no one can see you. And so I that's how I got into radio. And I had a career there for 17 years. Yeah, did that up until 2020.
oh. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, this is my question.
Yeah.
Every time okay, when I imagine radio set, it's more like everyone is screaming and shouting and everyone is nice and giddy all the time. And one of my friends said it's not the way. It's only for that short amount of time when they listen to you, and the rest of the time everyone is just deadpan silent. Is that true?
Kinda. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, I want
I
to know
mean,
what happens.
yeah, a lot of times, like you're just sitting in a room by yourself talking to people that you'll never meet, and you're just saying really dumb stuff in hopes that like they listen longer because you get bonuses based on how long people listen. So if you're, it's the same thing as like making content now. When people watch longer, you get rewarded, and then you can monetize your content or like, yeah, you get more followers, and that feels good. So we would get bonuses based on how long people would be listening.
Oh, how did they find that out? That someone is listening to you or how many people are listening to you?
Yeah, it used to be. something called the Nielsen ratings. They would send these diaries out and they would get paid like $5, I think, to write down everything they would hear for a week. Then I want to say in like 2014, maybe 2012, 2014, they started sending people these little pins that you just carried with you and it would pick up all the frequencies that you'd hear. So you just walk around with it and it would, everything that you're listening to for how long you were listening to it. That's how it would, that's how it would work.
Yeah. And it's most of it is it's like an improv skill in a way because everything is on the fly and you don't have a script. Or do you have scripts?
There are scripts. Yeah. In radio, there's a lot of scripts. They tell you a lot of times like what to say and when they want you to say it and how many times, you know.
Okay.
But there's a lot of time where there are not scripts, so you get to decide. And that's when, you know, the Maggie Mayfield brand was so interesting because I would talk about whatever I was into, that was the same as my audience. So that's how that worked.
Okay. And
Oh,
then
did you see Britney Spears today? Yeah, that's breaking down the radio.
okay, that's nice. But it's more like so did you got acting roles in between or no?
Um, Later, yes, when I picked up stand-up comedy, I started writing a lot and then writing sketches. And so then my friends were writing sketches and we'd all be in each other's stuff, which then turned into short films, which then turned into feature-length films, um, which then turned into stand-up comedy specials. So, you know, it's just
Okay.
you follow your joy. I think that's so much a part of what the industry is.
Okay. What was that like starting stand-up comedy?
Um, I didn't tell anyone that I was doing it.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't tell anyone. I was like, no one needs to know this. And then
Okay.
it it never occurred to me that it wouldn't be in my life. You just kept showing up and, when people laugh, it's such a cool feeling. And you just keep trying to figure out where the limit is. What else can I say?
Okay.
Yeah,
So I'm assuming you never bombed anytime, anywhere, and everyone was
never.
full. Okay,
No,
that's a
never.
lie.
I mean, have you been to a stand-up comedy show?
I have been, and there's sometimes it's just sometimes the material hits, and
Yeah,
like within 5 minutes you have the audience on palm of your hand, and anything you say is hilarious. And sometimes you miss that out. So I don't know.
yeah,
I'm not a comic, and I can never be one because my
yeah.
humor is way too dark. But
No, I don't think that's true. There's an audience for everyone. I believe that. You just got to
yeah,
find them. That's all.
yeah, and when it
I don't
was.
remember too. It was like 11 years ago, 12 years ago.
Okay.
It was a long time ago. I was going through a divorce at the time, and I was in radio, and I was helping a friend produce a comedy festival in our town. Um, just in the marketing part of it because I was on the air, and so just promoting it for him. And I was working as an improv actor. So, yeah, I sat through 5 days of shows, and there were like two female comedians that came through, and I was really mad. And I thought, oh, okay, well, I guess I'm gonna have to do this now, which is why I didn't tell anybody. I just showed up and like tried it and probably said a bunch of stuff that was mean about my ex-husband. And I got some laughs, and I was like, this is awesome.
Mm,
And
okay.
then yeah, just get,
Validation.
3 or 4 months. Yeah, 3 or 4 months later, my friends were like, "You're doing stand up?" I was like, "Yeah, it's fun. Here we go."
That's yeah, that's really fun. I think our sometimes our I'm not sure what how you divorce one, but sometimes your own hardship makes the best jokes.
Oh, I know, and it's like I am about to get married, and I'm very happy right now, and I keep saying like, "Oh, I'm not funny anymore," I'm not funny anymore. Be mean to me. Don't be mean, but like also
Yeah,
give the people what they want.
yeah. Like yeah, some tragedies to make my life funny, you know what I mean?
I mean, I can invent those on my own. And also, we live in the United States. I don't need more. I don't need any more.
Okay. Speaking of, I just not just I was editing one of the episode that I did with another comedian. She's amazing, Kelsey Lane. I'm not sure if you know her.
I know Kelsey. Yeah, very
Oh,
well.
that's so cool.
Yeah, that
Uh,
is
so
cool.
she said that it's a still a male-dominated field, and she did
Mhm.
had to struggle a lot because of that. And when she's the only girl, like in your case, when there were just only two female comedians, she had to struggle a lot because a lot of guys will not laugh at her material and be mean.
Yeah, yeah,
So
because
what
women
was
aren't
your
funny.
uh I don't know, some you women aren't and some women are, just like guys.
Yeah,
So
thank you. I think you know what? That's it. I'm going to bed. That was the best thing I've heard all day.
yeah,
I don't need any more day. You know,
yeah,
I think women have to work harder. So when their jokes land, they really, really are funny. And men don't have to. I've had women come up to tell me, they're like, I don't really find women that funny, but you were pretty great. It's like, ew, why did you say that? You
yeah,
didn't have
that
to say any of that, you know?
yeah.
Um, but whatever. If it's for you, great. I'm so excited to share an experience with you. And if I'm not for you, then keep scrolling. You know, we're too busy. We're all too busy.
No, but
And I
that's
don't have to, yeah, like we don't have to be liked by everyone. Gosh, can you imagine? That's a lot of pressure. I
yeah,
feel for Taylor Swift sometimes because it's like she's almost too big now. And I'm like, man,
yeah, it's a burden of success in some way, you know.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
what was your experience when you felt like, okay, oh, this is the case now? You don't like women, you don't want a woman's joking about anything at this point, or you like your experience with a woman like who said that you're
Mm-hmm.
too funny for a woman, which is not a compliment, it's an insult. Like if someone says, "Oh, you look too handsome for a for an Indian guy," so that would be really
Someone said that to you?
yeah.
What does that even mean? Why would you say
Yeah,
that? What?
yeah. It would be better if you just call me ugly. You know what I mean? Like just
Or just say not the power of I think we forget in this power of social media and like justice warriors on the keyboard where it's like you can say nothing. There is so much power in your silence. I think we forget that. Say less.
yeah,
Say less. Unless
yeah.
you're really adding to the conversation, just say less.
I don't know. I think that people are really comfortable with a lot of things, and some of them are, yeah. But you know what? I can say to the biggest, strongest guy, technically,
Yeah.
that you're an idiot, and I won't get punched.
Yeah, because we're hiding behind a screen. That's
Yeah.
why.
So I guess
Yeah.
that's why people are already going crazy with
Yeah.
their freedom of speech.
I know. I'm sorry that happened to you. That's
Uh,
icky.
it's
You're just like,
I'm used to it at this point. Like I have all the compliments and everything, compliments, and
yeah, backhanded.
yeah,
You're
it's
like, I
like
wasn't gonna try and date you anyway, so
no,
next.
no. It's a lot of things. If you yeah, let's not. You're already out of the market, so you don't have to worry about it. But the dating market is insane as of now.
Oh yeah. It I think it always has been. You know?
Really?
It, I think so. Yeah.
Okay, now I want to know more. So, is there ghosting was always the part of the dating culture?
hmm hmm
What?
Yeah, I think so. And people just not being sure about what they want or having an idea but being too afraid to say that they just want to casually hang out and hook up. It's not cool to say, I'm looking for something serious and romantic. It's not cool. It's not. it's not easy to say that either. I don't
No,
think,
I don't know.
yeah, yeah. I
Would
think
you?
relationships are so much of a mirror also, because they highlight the things that we like least about ourselves, but that's the areas that you need to grow. That's where you need to grow. And so it's uncomfortable. Change is uncomfortable. Growing is hard. And if it were easy, all of us would do it. All of us would be in successful relationships, but we're not. We're not.
Yeah, and right now it's more of a okay question for you. In a way, like when you started dating again, as you said, around like 2013 or 14, right?
Hmm.
Was it like more um you knew what you wanted, right? And that's why that's how you went along with it, went about it?
When I started dating again after getting divorced, I did not know what I wanted. And that's why you shouldn't be dating. I definitely met a few people that I adore, but probably hurt pretty badly because I just was really hurt and I wasn't ready to like fully jump in to anything. So,
Did you
yeah.
projected your own fears or your last relationship on them?
Mm, like with my partner now,
No, no, no. When you were sweet, when you just started dating after your divorce.
um, projecting my fears. I'm not sure. Yeah, I think I just wanted someone to tell me that I was pretty, and
Okay.
give me a lot of attention, but also the freedom to live this rock star life,
Yes.
being in radio and doing comedy, and that was what I wanted. Um, but I also wanted to be told I was pretty and held and had a kiss goodnight or texted. But I mean, you can have it all, but you just have to be very clear. And I don't think I was very clear. I just
Uh,
didn't know yet. I just didn't know
that you wanted to
yet.
be called pretty and
Yeah.
also secure in a relationship.
Hmm. But also like live the life of an artist and make movies and tour doing comedy.
Whole
Yeah.
thing. How did you
Okay.
got started filming into each other and how did it become a feature length movie or it was a short movie and then it become feature length, like the whole timeline in a way?
Yeah. Well, doing comedy, there's a lot of people that write and they write sketches, and I was doing that and filming mine and having my friends film theirs. And through that, you just start networking and meeting other people. Um, I got commissioned to write a couple of full-length scripts that I don't think anything ever happened with, um, to be on set and working. And, I was like, I want to, it sounds dumb, but I was like, I want to win an award. And you can only do that through film festivals, but it's easier when you make short films. So I wrote I wrote a film called Vegas is Calling, and I mean, I think it looks beautiful. It's the first thing that I've ever like directed, edited, wrote myself and started. And that won a bunch of awards. It was awesome. I'm very proud of that. The person I was dating at the time was also an actor and a comedian, and he helped me with that. And then we went into lockdown. We went into COVID times. He wrote a feature film and I wrote a comedy album. So while I was recording my music, my song, my parody songs, he was working on the script. I read it, loved it, helped him produce it. And we just used what we had. And since it was me and him, I starred in it and also won a bunch of awards for that. And that film's called Self Isolated, which is on all the streaming platforms.
Oh, that's
So
amazing.
that's how, yeah.
Okay, and did you made anything afterwards?
After that, I wound up focusing back into stand up because the country was starting to open up, and I teamed up with a manager and got booked all over the country and worked on my comedy special, which is called Social Media is Fake, and wound up filming that, which was like a huge, huge production. Um, and because I had started doing parody songs, I really took a turn into music videos because it was scratching all the itches, filmmaking, writing songs, doing comedy, filming. And I still won some awards for those. So that's been that process. And so right now is that's what I'm focusing on. I've got another comedy music album that I'm slowly releasing on Patreon, and that's called We're All Gonna Die, and it should be out in December.
Yes, we're all gonna die. Okay.
When you put it like that.
Yeah, but yeah, it's a fact. I cannot say anything
Yeah.
about that. And oh fudge, I forgot my question. Why did I make that joke? Uh, it's um,
It's a collection of songs
hmm,
that I think really touch on a very relatable topic, just the human condition. So the song I released this week is called Revenge Bod. So if you've ever had your heart broken, you get back into the gym and you just start working out, like I'll show them. So it's kind of like a pump up, build it up song that's, I think, very catchy, but also really funny and silly, but has a lot of replay value to it.
yes, absolutely. And we will link all of those songs in the description of this podcast.
Thank you.
And so you moved to LA when? Or are you still in New York?
Um, I moved to LA in 2015, 2014, 2015, and got a job working on the radio out there. So I was working on the number one station, Coast 103.5, made some of my best lifelong friends there, and really got to do a lot of cool stuff. Meet Nancy Cartwright,
Yeah.
um, and yeah, what an incredible experience that was to live in LA. But they say like you go to LA to fight your demons, and you can only leave when you've won. So I left in 2021, and I'm now in Austin, Texas, where there's a lot of comedy. So,
Okay, that's interesting because I just did an interview and she was a writer director and she was in Austin too. So
oh, nice.
is it how's the industry there?
Um, Certainly building. It's definitely getting bigger. There's a lot of film coming here, a lot of work coming here, and the government has done a lot of work to incentivize filmmakers to be here. So there's a lot of tax breaks right now, and I can feel it. My auditions are just almost double in the last month. So it's good. It's very, very good. Um, but it's not, yeah, I mean, it's not LA, but the competition is less for that kind of stuff.
And the comedy scene too, in a way.
Comedy is big. It's very, very big. Joe Rogan moved here in 2021 also. So he brought a lot of the LA comedy scene with him, which I was really grateful for. I was like, cool, now I can keep doing what I love in this, I was going to do it anyway, but now it's really backed up by that part of the industry.
Okay.
The difference is like in LA, when you do stand up, these are actors that are also doing comedy. So they have the film industry to support them. We just don't have that here yet. So there's a lot of bad comedy without a lot of film to help balance out, you know, what's happening.
Hmm. When you say bad comedy, what does that mean?
Well, a lot of people that get on stage and just say the most vile things, hoping that it'll make people laugh when it's just gross. It's just grotesque stuff. But we've certainly there's a certain bro culture of comedy here.
Okay. Okay, so you were talking about your first set. Oh, you were talking about fudge. Never mind. So
The joys of making a podcast.
yes.
All good. It's all
Uh,
good. It's all
I
good.
wrote,
How
yeah.
long have you been doing this?
I've started. I have to check my channel. You're my 19th episode, and
Ooh.
I started around open up April.
Oh, nice. Okay, good for you.
Yes, I'm really, really young at this. I'm really, really new at this.
Yeah. That's whatever. Everyone's new at everything at some point.
Okay, so I have the questions ready. Let's start asking you one by one, and don't let you time to breathe. Okay.
Just rapid fire. Let's go.
Okay. So, what was your first paid voiceover gig, and what did it teach you?
My first paid voiceover gig was for a commercial in Las Vegas for the Sunset Galleria Mall. And that was in like 2004. And it taught me a lot about luck in this industry. Sometimes it's just right place, right time. I had gotten a new gig at a radio station. It was my first full-time job. And the girl that I replaced had the job before me. And instead of just tracking her down, they were like, well, you're fine. We'll use you. And I got paid $100 and I was like, this is the easiest money I've ever made in my life. That
Oh,
was my first.
so yeah, everyone
Yeah.
keeps saying me that, keep telling me that uh, uh, most of it especially in entertainment, it's luck and connections, more over than your talent.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, talent helps. It does. It really does help. But yeah, you just got to keep showing up. Just got to keep showing up. Get in
Okay,
the way. That's what I always say. Just get in the way.
I got you all. Okay, so one, two. Okay, so what's the biggest myth, or what's the most irritating myth that you hear about voice acting and stand-up comedy that you're just sick of hearing and you're just sick of debugging, dismissing?
Um, the biggest myth in voiceover, I would say, is, people think they need to have a lot of impressions or voices or characters. And I can't stress enough, like, we already have those impressions. We already have those voices. We don't need any more of that. We need you and your experiences. And that's what makes you a good actor. So when you can tap into your own emotions, essentially. So I'd say that's in voiceover. In comedy, I think the biggest myth, I'm not sure that I'm sick of debunking it, but everyone thinks that being a road comic is like the way to make money, and it is, but it's not as much as you think. You're still living in and out of your car. The hotels are not nice. Um, it is it is a very exhausting way to live. Like you really have to love connecting with other human beings, and showing up to really small towns that are not that it's just, yeah, you gotta put yourself out there. You just gotta shake hands and kiss babies and make friends.
Did you say shake babies?
Shake hands and kiss babies.
Oh, okay. Okay.
You could shake babies, but that might put you behind bars. So,
Yes. Yeah, I'm not gonna start by. Okay, if someone
yeah.
is trying to get the over thing started in their own house, what gears and well, I see a mic, I see a headset. What gears and softwares would you like to recommend them?
Um, you don't need anything fancy. A simple USB mic from Amazon is more than enough. A lot of people will say otherwise, but you don't, when you're just starting, don't spend a lot of money because you don't know if you're going to make any yet. So, $100 USB mic is fine. and download something called Audacity. That's how you can record. You could just record yourself using that.
Audacity. Is it free or
Hmm.
there's no paid
Yep.
subscription?
Nope.
Oh wow, that's rare.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, that's
And there's like
sweet.
a whole YouTube university on how to use it. So yeah, yeah.
Okay, since when you're coaching everyone, what do you think are the most common mistakes that your students make in terms of voice
Um,
acting?
Not doing it enough. They show up sometimes, but if you want to win, you got to show up every day. You got to show up all the time. You just got to be consistent. You got to be often. So I would rather hear that you sent in 2 auditions every day than sending in 5 1 day a week.
Okay,
A little
so
bit goes a long way.
yeah, so be consistent and do it every day.
Hmm. Hmm.
Okay.
Hmm.
What about okay, that's a common question, I guess, for every art. But what about like the performance anxiety and the imposter syndrome that people deal with?
It Imposter syndrome and performance anxiety means that you care a lot. And the way to overcome that is just practice. All it's saying is you just don't have enough proof yet to help you with the confidence that you're kicking ass. And nerves are normal. Nerves are normal. If you aren't a little nervous, that probably means it's not that important to you. And then it's time to evaluate and look again. But that deep, intense fear is just because you don't have enough proof yet that you can do it. That's all.
Hmm.
You
When
just
you
keep doing it until you get the proof. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And you can rely on the words of your friends and family who care about you when they say
Hmm.
you're doing great.
Hmm. Yeah.
Hmm,
Or
that's interesting.
maybe not. I mean, they won't know. Your friends and family want you to do well, but they also see everything with rose-colored glasses and they think you're wonderful. It's if you have a have peers that you look up to that you think, "Oh, they are so funny," and they start telling you you're doing great, then that's the proof that you need. So, yeah, it is so much about who you know. When people that are doing what you want to be doing are telling you, good job, this is awesome, that's when you know you've got something special.
Hmm. So when you're teaching all of that, will there be a moment where like you're like, okay, this is why I do, this is why I teach.
Yeah, when my clients get when they win, when they get it, when they learn more about themselves, when they feel more confident in themselves. Everyone deserves to feel good. Everyone deserves to work hard and understand themselves and find peace and chase their dreams. I'm not going to stand in anyone's way. But if I can like lift you on the way there, well, that's pretty special, I think.
Yeah, it must be really heart touching when you see this. You see them
It must be,
succeed. Heart
yeah,
touching.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Okay. Okay. One weird question, but what do you think is harder, the stand-up comedy or voice acting or even directing?
Mm, I mean, they're both different in their own way. Like voiceover is hard because you don't get any feedback. You don't know until someone picks you. So you're just kind of hanging out you're just hanging out in a room by yourself and you don't know. But stand-up comedy is really hard because you get immediate feedback if you're funny or not, whether or not the audience is laughing. So if they're not laughing, then it's like, oh God, panic button alert. Um, so they're both challenging, but for different reasons.
Hmm, interesting.
Hmm.
So you have a brand of yourself, right?
Hmm.
There must be some dry spells when you're not booking anything and you're not making any money. So how do you support during that time, and how do you manage? Well, most of the time you cannot control it, but do you try to control it, not to have some dry spells in between?
Yes. Um, but you learn very quickly that the industry is feast and famine. Right now, it is very feast. So there's a lot of work happening. People are trying to get a lot of stuff done before the holidays, and then it'll be very famine come January. So we're like, nothing's happening. Everyone's resting. We're just trying to figure out what's next. And so right now is when you tuck a little away. You just save it. You just save for then, but you keep building. So you get back into an acting class, you get back to networking events, start a podcast, whatever that is. It's like the downtime is when you should be networking the hardest.
Hmm. Okay, so I have to go a little bit deeper into that because I think you had a steady job in between, right? With when you were doing the radio show, when you had a radio career for 17 years.
Hmm.
But going back to again this, as you said, feast and famine, wasn't difficult to adjust to, or
Yeah, terrifying. It was terrifying. I quit all my jobs in August of 2019. And then, as you know, 6 months later, the world shut down because of COVID. And I was like, oh my God, what did I do? Ah. Um, it turned out to be a really good year for voice actors. I worked more that year than I have my entire career. Um, so yeah, it was the best thing that could have happened to me, but just yeah, it is terrible. It is scary. Every month I look around, I'm like, I can't believe that I paid all my bills again. I can't believe I did this. I can't believe I made my life doing this.
okay, so that's something that people need to look out for when they're jumping into this industry.
Yeah, but I think that's any entrepreneur, anyone that opens a sandwich shop or an Etsy store or anything. You don't know what's going to happen, and you just keep showing up and you are delusional about your success. And I think that's the key. You have to be delusional about it. It's going to work. I don't have a backup plan. I don't know what else I could do. It has to be this. I am delusional.
I think we all are.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, because technically, as dark as that can be, like I'm planning for something next year, but I have
Hmm.
no guarantee I'll survive. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Something can
Yeah.
happen.
It's
So,
like they say, like, choose your hard. Running your own business is really hard. Running yourself it's hard, but it's also really hard to show up and punch the clock for someone else every day and be stuck in an office every day until 5 o'clock. It's hard to go to your boss and ask for time off so you can go to your niece's recital. It's choose your hard. What kind of hard do you want?
mm, yeah, absolutely. And so since you do your own, you're a freelancer, you're technically marketing yourself. Did it get exhausting sometimes when you're constantly posting on social media and you feel the burnout?
Hmm. Yeah, for sure. For
Yeah.
sure. And you have to put like healthy boundaries on it. When I'm posting for work, it's only on my computer. So when I'm ready to like relax and just kind of scroll mindlessly and enjoy it, it'll be on my phone. So like computer time is work time. That's where I'm doing all the work for social media, and then playtime is on the phone. But by that time, I'm done. I'm over it. I don't care anymore. It's like I don't want to hear one more thing.
No, but it's easy to waste a lot of time when you're doing the swiping and scrolling and doom scrolling, as we
Hmm.
say.
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so you do something to keep yourself check in that regard too.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like you put it into your calendar. It's like it's just part of the day. And I know that from this time to this time is when I'm dealing with it. And then when that time is done, I'm done. And you put it down and you move on because you're a business owner and you're running, like you're doing your own, and there's so many tasks every day that have to get done. So you don't have time to just get lost. And if you do, then it's like, oh, well, I missed the opportunity to get that work done that I wanted to get done. And honestly, like feeling completed by the time dinner rolls around so I can relax and just go on a walk with my fiance or like make dinner or whatever, that missing that time hurts not just me, but us and him. So,
Mm, absolutely. Okay, what trends are you seeing right now with voice acting and stand-up comedy?
mm, I think with stand up, we kind of talked about it in Austin. There is like a bro movement happening, um,
Can you go
which again
deep
is
into that?
fine. I could, but anyone that's a fan of stand up comedy is going to know the two big comics that are here. And for those audiences, I love that for you. But people have this delusion that if you move to Austin and get on a particular show, then you're going to make it and you'll be famous. And that's not how it works. That's not how this works. S- But for people that love that show, that's great. I love that for them. And there's certainly a wonderful community that subscribes to that. It's just not for me and a majority of live performers, to be honest. Um, and in voiceover, I get this question all the time, like, isn't AI going to take our job? And my response to that is no, it's actually creating more work for us, surprisingly. It's very popular right now for companies to want an AI voice. They want their own Siri or Alexa. And so they're paying actors a lot of money to create those voices for their own business. And as many companies as there are, that's how many voices are needed to do that kind of work. And because so many actors are terrified of creating that kind of work, um, they're steering away from it. So the people that are like, whatever, I'll get paid for it, they're getting paid handsomely to do that.
Interesting. You kind of answered my next question. I was about to ask you about AI, but never mind. Okay, so when you started as voice acting and stand up and other, and as a radio host, did you had a mentor during any of those phases?
Um, Not really. I had a boss in radio that I loved a lot, and I looked up to her very, very much. Um, we didn't work together too long. She got swept away by another station. And then in radio, there were just people that I thought were so funny, and I really liked what they were doing and building, and so just paid attention. You just pay attention, be available, um, and be consistent. It's like that's the key, I think, to life that we're all missing, to relationships, just like we were talking about. It's like you've got to show up. You've got to be consistent. Consistency as you get older is like the sexiest thing in life.
Okay. Okay, that's okay. I
You'll
don't know
see,
why I
it's
didn't.
coming.
I don't want to be old. I don't want to go old. Okay.
Well, when someone shows up and does what they say they're going to do and they repeat that process, I mean, that to me, that's the kind of person I want to be around. The people that do what they say they're going to do. I don't want to wonder. I don't want to guess. I don't want to be left unread for 3, 4 days before you finally decide that it's okay to answer, you know?
Oh, like a reliability?
Mm-hmm.
Reliable? You want something reliable? That's what
Mm-hmm.
you're talking about technically, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Yeah.
that makes sense. You grow up and you start using the spontaneous. Okay, never mind.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes you
Yeah.
need peace and quiet.
Mm-hmm. And I
Okay.
think you can find peace when you know what to expect. Don't get me wrong. I am a big fan of hey, do you want to get in the car and just see where we go in 2 hours and see what happens? Yeah, absolutely. I love those afternoons. I do. Um, I'm not saying that you can't be spontaneous, but I don't think, yeah, I'm not, I, maybe I'm just getting older, but I think that there's something to be said. Peace is so much more valuable than chaos. Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, but just like you said, you're chasing those highs, and dating is so hard because you're chasing a high that isn't going to reward you the way that you want, which is why it's so hard to date because we're not fully consciously aware in our 20s of like, what is it that we want?
Yeah.
So that's why dating is hard because it's chaotic. It's very chaotic.
Yeah.
So
Uh,
yes, call me old or old fashioned, but I'm a sucker for the truth, for consistency.
yeah. And it's perfectly
Given the
reason.
industry that we work in, yeah, that is it's a wild thought, but
Yeah,
there's a lot
you.
of things I can't control, but
Yeah. That's a very mature way to put it, and I think it's really. I hate to say this, but I think it's bare minimum in some ways.
hmm hmm yeah, absolutely. Thank
Uh,
you.
yeah. Oh, why are you thanking me? It's
Thank you for having me. Yeah, just thanks for like just letting me express that.
yeah. Okay, before I let you go, what are your next projects?
Yeah, I'm working on a musical comedy album called We're All Gonna Die and slowly releasing comedy content on Patreon because my Instagram right now is very voiceover and actor heavy, which is great. But for the fans of stand up, they're like, what is happening? Where'd she go? Where's the funny lady? She's over on Patreon and it is free right now. There's no paywall behind that. I would just love to meet you over there and see you over there.
Like, comment, and subscribe. Please, 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 I'm begging you. Please. I'm desperate. I don't know what to do. Please subscribe. Like, comment, and subscribe.